Yes, you have arrived. And I managed to sort out any last minute, like, internet connection bullshit during the pre-stream, so hopefully it's stable. It's funny, I was leaving it on the Wi-Fi of all things, considering I get the better upload speed, but it was just deciding to not cooperate and absolutely tank the shit out of my bitrate. Actually catch the pre-stream? Wow. Okay. See, yeah, so I think you got to see the brief disconnect and reconnect as I was switching over from Wi-Fi to wired. But at least it's stable right now. God, it feels like such a crapshoot now whenever I feel like that has to happen. Okay. Guess what's poppin', my dude? Yeah, it's poppin'. Obviously, a lot kind of been going on this weekend, game-wise. That I'm like extra, kind of extra relieved. Although, actually, hold on, I'm gonna quickly. Yeah, it was. I just needed to like adjust like my desktop volume. I want to do the boss or want to explore. I'm guessing like explore for like the time being, because I'm just trying to get like my bearings again as far as where we left off. Because I know last thing we did, we throat punched and roundhouse kicked the shit out of Measurehead. And we are currently trying to internalize whether or not we can become the last communist. Probably should explore to see if you can find meds. That's true, yeah. As well as anything else, like maybe, I don't know, my badge, my gun, anything. Oh yeah, I haven't talked to these folks yet. Let's see. Oh.
Life.
Ah, damn it.
Doesn't need to be a struggle.
How shall the uprising go this time?
I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to Angry Hard René first.
Okay. Spirit, the chirps and clicks of swallows fill the air.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Yeah, but shouldn't I ask what game it is first?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
Alright then. +2 acting without hesitation. Good a chance as any. Let's see. Oh.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work.
Feel the ball.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
Man ball. You never got this one? Wow, I'm surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't be too caught off guard. I mean, I guess just all those... I guess those decent stats and motorics kind of paying off in this instance.
A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
Such profound fucking descriptions for what is essentially a game with a ball.
An embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency.
Maybe because you knocked down Measurehead? Yeah, who knows?
Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
Inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let's go. Be the bullet. Alright. Ooh. Well, damn.
Merde! Bordel de merde! What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak right triceps, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Wait, what?
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
Oh, pétanque, I understand.
No, no you don't. Our pétanque game is ruined. We want our bull back.
Ow. A speech, like a skill check that was a success is technically still a screw up. I love it. This is why this game is great.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You are as a goddamn bull.
Alright, I'll try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Well, do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
Guess it's to teach you it's best to learn more information before acting. Maybe, but considering just like the entertainment behind this game's scenarios, I guess it goes both ways in that instance. Like, sure, it's valuable to take the time to think before acting, but it's also very much worth acting before thinking.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
Exactly, as long as it's funny. We're in agreement.
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Yeah, that's a... I really like that line. That is extremely poignant. That's how some parts of my life have felt. Especially early on in my 20s.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created it?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was the heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership,
Fucking...
and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
They really came up with like a new modified pejorative for communists right there, didn't they? Wait, who are the communards again?
Communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Okay, so did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty. Like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Yeah, definitely getting more and more boomer vibes from this dude talking about the other group. So why shell them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
Yeah, I'd say I'm getting a good grasp of where Renee lies on this matter. He does, yeah. All he's missing is some sunglasses and a selfie of himself sitting in the driver's seat. That's it.
Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Deathblow. Sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
He definitely would have a flag in his Twitter name. Oh, I definitely can't unsee that now.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
And I guess Gaston over here is at least like the more sensible one. Or at least maybe he knows to like keep a lid on much of like his problematic opinions if he has any. So, wait, hold on. The coalition?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
That why everything is so bombed out here?
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still all influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Let's see. So it should be saw socialists paving the way for the hard-working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess, and now they rule us. Coalition seems quite capable. Commies just don't understand how money works. Fuck it, I'll go bold with this one.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol. Or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Does it?
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
Yep. Definitely a believer in the homeland to a fault.
This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
What exactly is a suzerain?
Suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already?
I mean, I have, and I've got good reason to. I drunk myself so hard I got amnesia.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I got no chance. But I might as well try.
All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past and his old uniform. This is not uncommon.
Yeah.
This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frissel the First, Guillaume le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him.
Don't you mean Frissel the Fan?
You do not speak his name, Craven, although he was a clown. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn.
There's something you missed. You'll get to it. Don't worry.
Alright. Well, thanks for your time, I guess. Ugh. Fun fellows. Hope we don't have to spend much more time with old coots like those. Pawn shop. Okay. Alright. Ah, god damn it, it looks like you can find out more about gas. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I probably could have, like, talked more specifically to him about that. Waterlock out of order until Wednesday. Okay. Not the same. Different kind of boomer. Yeah. Yeah, I was already getting, like, the sense that, like, he's not that same kind of, like, openly bitter and terrible kind. Yeah. Bust of a woman. Plaque simply says DEI. Dark, a film projector whirring away.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Assuming I still have a living room, wherever my character came from.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
So, where'd you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
How much for the streetlight?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Yeah, 700 sounds about right. I imagine it wasn't easy sawing off that street lamp.
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to buy and sell something so extraordinary.
Yeah, alright. Let's talk to you a bit more specifically.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, not at all. I guess I haven't had many customers lately. RCM or otherwise.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection indeed.
It keeps me entertained.
Is Roy high, and if yes, then what is he on? I know I might end up like that pawn shop owner when I'm older. Just chill, disaffected, in a booth. As people come and go. Maybe they'll buy something. Maybe they'll just window shop.
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Well, you might be able to aid our
I
investigation.
doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Think you could help me get a corpse out of a tree?
The corpse behind the hostel, I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself. Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers there who'd be willing to help.
Alright. Just another instance of the game reminding you you have to go this way if you really want to make critical progress.
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
Yeah, actually, that's all I got.
His gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you, happen to have any guns? Like the ones carried by cops?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Oh, wait, what? Hold on. Okay. Straight up implying that, like, in our drunken stupor, we didn't just lose the gun, we sold it?
The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another.
What? Was the buyer a policeman too?
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Ugh.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Allegedly?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
There's only one explanation. Great job, old me. There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid
In
fans.
that case, she'll be happy to get a visit from us, if we can find her.
Look, any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle
Ow.
in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
At least now I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. All right. The first question. There's something I'd like to
Let
sell.
me have a look.
Or you meant like the first question from like the other category.
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale.
I mean, do you know what the tattoos mean, though?
Photic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism.
Oh, for the
It's
gun,
darkness.
right?
That's all I know. Sell me something lighter. Another time, perhaps. Sure thing.
All right.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Okay.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
Feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet yourself, officer.
What was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight. And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Then I agreed to take it.
Very normal behavior. You must have been in great shape.
Yeah, normal. So then how much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
Fucking that little.
The lieutenant looks from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this tableau might still turn out to be a bad dream.
Oh. Kim is regretting this day having to work with my drunk old ass. Good job, old me.
This has got to be the most. Wow. There's pity there too.
In case you didn't notice. Happens to the best of us, I guess.
It certainly does. Especially in Revachol.
Alright.
Man.
Alright.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Wait, there are Copo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Sorry, cop? I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Oh, okay, but what are the other Copo types?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go?
Won't the other Copo types be jealous?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Don't worry. They'll be super fine. It'll be totally
Oh,
okay.
this is
You
something.
can dual Copo type from sorry to anything.
I'm sorry.
Of course you are. It's okay.
Rigorous
See if you can get
self-critique.
something out of this, like info. Or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen.
If only. Alright. What do we got? Oh, I need to unlock a new slot for that. Guess I should actually double check and like see like what is the Like, I'm trying to see if there's, like, anything specific, like, among, like, the skills here that, like, contributes to, like, unlocking these, like, slots for extra thoughts, or is that tied to something else? -1 authority, embarrassment to the party. Whatever. We're still working on trying to internalize ourselves as the last communist, so I think we'll just leave it at that. That's just a skill point? Okay. Snowing again. Gotta say, like, going through this game, like, my mind hasn't been feeling, like, anxious or excited about wanting to play this game so much that, like, it's making me want to break stream schedule. You can choose to either add another point to a skill or unlock a cabinet for a okay. So it's, okay. I get it now. It's not just for this stuff on the character sheet when you get a level up. Okay. But no, it's like this game is still great, but it's the sort of thing where I am totally glad to be taking it at the pace that I am, you know? You know, with stuff like this, just kind of taking it chill, not worrying so much about, like, the optimal methods of doing anything in this game, just kind of taking what happens as it comes along. Especially since, you know, I'm playing Bayonetta 3 at the same time, and I'm also kind of trying to take a similar approach of, like, not rushing or pushing myself way too hard trying to get to the end of it, considering how absolutely large that fucking game seems to be, especially when you're watching all the cutscenes for the first time. Which is like, you know, fuck, I think I actually just kind of want to get this off my chest regarding that game. Because I know it's like, Wrath, you and me, like, we were having, like, a whole lot of, like, just random, like, talking with, like, other people on Discord about Bayo 3. I've not beaten it yet. I'm assuming based on what you've been talking about that you've actually beaten it already. I've only just finished, like, up through, like, chapter 11. Funny thing is, there's no optimal method. It's what's cool about it. More like what you want to optimize. Yeah. Bottles inside. You could pick them up if you had a bag. Rue de Saint-Ghislain 8B. Interesting. They do. And like combined with how like starting an initial playthrough feels.
Mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Fuck you, mail delivery box. Get. Ow!
There is a hollow, saddened ring as you kick the Levanturier mail collection box. It sounds betrayed, in disbelief even. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts.
No shit, it does.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box.
You think so? You think it was cool?
I don't. Let's go.
He must see the box as the weaker of the two, and you as a bully. Something he doesn't stand for.
Sorry for late replies. The internet's fucking me up. To be fair, my internet seems to be fucking me up as well. Like, frames over the network still seem to be dropping no matter what the fuck I do. I'm starting to think I'm desperately needing to, like, switch around, like, what plugs I have things, like, attached to, including my power line adapter. Because wired or wireless doesn't seem to be doing shit.
The mail collection box has no faith in your psychopathic manipulations.
It's also inanimate, and you're a fucking idiot. God. But I assume even with the frame drops, it's not, like, impacting audio much, if anything. Because, I mean, like, it's frames. If anything, it's just making, like, the visuals of it, like, feel way more fucky than it should be. But, like, going through that game, just, like, on, like, the first playthrough has been, like, really weird. Because I think as I keep playing more and more, like, of these type of, like, action games, you know, the kind of games that we know and love, like, when new ones come out, like, I'm starting to have lingering problems with the way that, like, they're inherently designed that is, like, becoming more and more frustrating. Like, with each new game I play, and Bayonetta 3 is really highlighting that on, like, on the first playthrough route. And it's like, man, like maybe this is something that's, like, very hyper specific to how I kind of feel about it. Maybe there's some overlap, but I feel like I've been kind of mulling on this a lot more, considering I've thought a lot in the past of what would be, like, my ideal character action game. But I'm so... Oh, you're back. Okay. You're about to see me, like, get into a rant about... Oh, you had to restart your internet. That's why. But yeah, I've just kind of, like, been gearing up for, like, my... I guess rant regarding the kind of based on just, like, why, like, I've not been rushing so fast to get through the get through the initial playthrough of Bayo 3, because it's a problem that that, like, other games in this genre in recent years just seems to be really not fixing for me. And it's that I fucking hate playing a new character action game now where your starting character never feels like it's operating at 100% capacity. And when I mean 100% capacity, I don't mean having every single ability the game offers right off the bat. I mean having a character where from minute one you control it and it feels like you're not missing anything or you're acting under a handicap. Especially when it came to, like, the first like the first few hours of the game, because maybe you could agree with me on this particular angle when going through Bayonetta 3 for the first time. Like, I say it's like the first 2 hours, but I think it's more accurate to say, if we're not counting cutscenes, like the first hour, because those cutscenes are made way longer than they have any right to. But I don't think, like, the first hour of just raw gameplay in Bayonetta 3 when you first start out makes a very good impression of what that game has to offer. Yeah, the first fight in Bayo 3 threw me off. It's like, for me, it was like everything from the beginning to near the end of Chapter 1. Felt like the game was, like, just trying to, like, tug me by the balls without really, like, giving me much room to, like, get comfortable or, like, start utilizing the things that that it has to offer. Because it's like, yeah, Wicked Weaves, you don't have those anymore, or at least, like, their supposed equivalent. The thing you think is their equivalent is very different acting. And then they introduce you to Demon Slave. And they picked, like, the worst demon possible to, like, demonstrate the whole Demon Slave asset, because Gamora fucking sucks. And then you go through Chapter 1, and the game decides, okay, you can use Madama Butterfly now, who feels immensely better to use in every single regard. Like, even in the context of she's bigger than Bayonetta, and therefore is, like, slower moving and hitting by contrast. And then you keep going through the level, and then, again, this kind of goes back to, like, the feeling of how it's, like, the first 2 hours, which could include cutscenes, feels like it takes forever to really feel like you're getting access to all the stuff you really need. You don't get access to Rodan's fucking shop until near the end of Chapter 1. Yeah, exactly. That's straight up the exact moment where I was starting to feel that as well. And I find it extra ironic how it's like, yeah, near end of Chapter 1, start of Chapter 2. It's like everything before that, weirdly enough, matched up with, like, the first 2 gameplay trailers we saw back in the day. That sounds wrong. It makes it sound like it was way further back in time than it actually was. But we all know how we were, like, skeptical / cautiously optimistic at most when it came to those trailers. At least for me. Because guess what? All of them had to do with, like, the opening parts of Shibuya and even a little bit of the prologue. It's like, it's only when you get deeper into the game that it starts showing more of what it has to offer, both in terms of, like, the level and spectacle on display, but also they start giving you more weapons, and they start giving you more demons. And the demons start to get way more wild in their variety and gameplay applications. To the point that it's like, it becomes clear at a point that, yeah, like, you don't have traditional Wicked Weaves anymore, because in reality, the summons are the Wicked Weaves now. Like, they're the main thing where it's like you're trying to, like shortcut them at the expense of magic. Just like you did with Wicked Weaves from, like, Tetsuzanko and Heel Stomp and the like. Yeah, marketing did very little favors for it. It really wasn't until we got, like, that 7-minute trailer or whatever that was actually taking the time to sit down and go, okay, here are the mechanics. Here are, like, the names of these mechanics so you know what they are and how they're actually supposed to be used. Like, I legit thought it'd be bad when I saw, because what I saw there really turned me off, yeah. But even outside of the specifics of, like, what was kind of shown in those trailers, like I'm really not a fan of how they decided to, like, completely redo, like, the whole move upgrade system. Like, seriously, I think you could agree with me on this front. Why the fuck do I need to buy Umbran Spear and Afterburner Kick for every weapon now? Once I could finally try buffering Demon Slave with my combos where I went, okay, I like this and it takes forever to get there. Yeah. Because, like, because you start out limited to just one weapon, which is, you know, Color My World's pretty good as, like, the new starting pistol weapon loadout. but Gamora just feels like shit to use. But I really don't like having to buy moves that used to be universal, like, on a per weapon basis now. About this in our channel earlier. Yeah. Just, that part feels so unnecessary. And it led to this sort of thing where it's ironic. I say that, like, yeah, I'm with you in agreement that, like, once you kind of get into, like, past most of Chapter 1, getting into Chapter 2, where the game starts to become more and more fun. The ironic thing is that by the time I got to Chapter 2, I just bumped the game difficulty down to casual. Like, I started the prologue on Expert and thought, yeah, this doesn't feel fun to play even on the supposed action game veteran difficulty. So I bumped it down to standard to Chapter 1. And it still didn't feel good there, so I started Chapter 2 on casual. And I had, admittedly, a better peace of mind just seeing all those clear rank medals rather than, like, the abundance of golds and silvers that I was getting. It feels like it takes away from Gates of Hell, yeah. I mean, at least with Gates of Hell, it makes it more upfront right out the gate that, yeah, you can just buy all colors and costumes for your characters now, like, during the initial playthrough. It's not something you kind of have to wait for to unlock all of it once you get into the post-game. But it all feeds back into, like, the core problem I have, where it's, like, these fucking action games, like, Platinum is, I think, most guilty of this, but I'm also going to extend this to Itsuno as well, because I feel like ever since DMC3, he has effectively perpetuated, like, this design notion for these kind of action games. Where it's like, especially when it comes to sequels, they're not taking the time to really deeply evaluate what should count as the new starting loadout for your legacy characters as you go from game to game. Like, the jump from, like, what you have as the starting move kit in one game versus what they decide to make standard in the next game is not nearly as big of a gap forward as it should be. Because, like, yeah, I'm in agreement. Stinger needs to be default. You're of two minds? Okay, yeah, lay it on me. What is, like, what are your two minds of this matter? As I watch my bitrate and, like, network frame rate just continue to be fucking petulant. Christ. Actually love buying new moves as I get more assimilated with the game, but stuff like your launcher and your stinger should definitely be default. Yeah, like, it's tricky just because it is like, yeah, like, having some sort of progression like that is important. Especially if it's tied to a currency that, let's say, you get more of based on how good and skillful you are at the game, therefore you get access to those moves faster, you know? Which I think ties back to my ultimate problem, and I've kind of harped on this a lot, and I often feel like I'm the only one that ever feels like this is the root of the problem whenever I kind of, like, bring up the issue we're talking about of the tedium of having to rebuy your moves so that you get your character back to what feels like 100% efficiency. But I feel like in the long term, designing character action games like DMC, like Bayonetta, like every other Platinum game, around the idea of a level select where you complete a level and you can choose to go back to it at any point as you see fit, hurts that design. I think it's at this point, it is 100% detrimental because of how the designers are actually approaching what they think is okay for a starting character's toolkit. Because think about it compared to DMC 1. Compared to Ninja Gaiden 1, Vanilla and Black, and Sigma. Literally all its versions. Compare that to Ninja Gaiden 2. Compare that to Beautiful Joe. Like... And hell, you know, I'll keep it limited to there because I know Bayonetta Wonderful 101 still kind of adhere to, like, the kind of the structural idea that I am saying is, like, at the root of the problem. Yeah, because guess what? When you have that pressure of you complete a level and you have to keep moving forward, there's a lot more thought that then goes into, if you're starting a new game, you're naturally going to be starting from square one. And if you're starting from square one, then square one needs to feel as fucking good as it can be starting out, so you don't feel like you are getting locked out, or your chances at getting like that perfect rank on a level is getting like locked out because of some sort of handicap. Whereas Bayo 3, you are 100% handicapped right at the start of the game. You don't get your demon slave until halfway through the prologue. You don't get another demon slave until halfway through chapter 1. You don't get a new weapon besides Color My World until you visit Rodan's shop. And you don't get access to the upgrades for your skills after you complete chapter 1. I think a good compromise here would be choosing chapters and levels as a reward for beating the game. Yeah. Having like the chapter select as like the bonus afterwards would be fine. Or, you know what? This might sound blasphemous from me, because it's mentioning a game that's in a series that I love, and it has to do and it involves a lot of the problems I've had with the series after a certain oatmeal cookie-faced ninja left the series in 2008. But Sigma 2 actually addresses the very same problem, like, in concept. Not necessarily execution, but in concept. Because you have your main game where you go through the chapters as normal, but then you have chapter challenge where you select the level and you basically have your character already at max, like, efficiency. You have all of your tools. You have all of your moves and weapons, everything, you know? You still have the main game if you want to go through, like, what I'd say is the long-form fun of what that game should be, which is you working your way up to getting the better tools through smart play and being rewarded with, like, more of your upgrade currency that is important to the game's economy. And funny enough, like, as well, like, Razor's Edge, noted shit game that is still technically an improvement, I guess, to an even worse game, still has chapter challenge, but that has the extra benefit of letting you replay all of those, like, chapters in the game with characters other than Ryu. So, yeah. Somehow, despite all of the gameplay fuck-ups that the Hayashi era of Ninja Gaiden had, that was, like, the one idea that they had that was great, and I desperately wish, like all other action game devs had even half a mind to replicate properly. And so it's because of that, because I am still slowly chipping away at Bayonetta 3, still dealing with the fact that I am having to rebuy all of these, like, same move inputs for every new weapon I get, as well as every new demon, that I can call Bayonetta 3 good. Even though I have not completed the game yet, I know without a doubt that it is, at a very bare minimum, a good-ass fucking game. But I cannot in good conscience say that I am having the most fun that I could be with it. And it's entirely because of the aforementioned gripe I've been having that has been, like, building up in me with, like, every new action game that we have been playing that has come out in the last few years, you know? Because, like, this isn't new for Bayo 3. I've mentioned this as well. I've even had the same problem with DMC 5, you know? Not so much when it came to V, ironically enough, but that's only because he was a new character. And this is, like, the silver lining of the whole fucking, like, the whole level select, replay levels whenever you want structure that is now the norm for character action games. Is because when you have something that is genuinely new in the context of that game, or even a new game in general with completely new ideas like Wonderful 101, I am perfectly fine with the initial handicap, assuming that I'm trusting them at that point that the game is going to respect me, like, on repeats, to not have me still hindered by that handicap. Like, Like, this might as well get back to our boy Kamiya. Even though Bayonetta 1 and Wonderful 101 still adhere to the replay levels you've completed at any time structure, like, in all the times I've replayed Bayo 1 from scratch, I cannot recall a point where I ever felt like I was being held back even at the start. Not, or at least not to the same degree that, you know, like, later Bayonettas did, especially 3. Because at least, even though you don't get Beast Within in Bayo 1 until the end of Chapter 5, at least all of the levels leading up to that point don't feel like you're missing out on a very quick mobility option to get from point A to B. But that's also because after you get Beast Within, the game starts introducing, like, level challenges that actually incentivize you to use Beast Within as things other than that. At the end of the day, I feel like Bayo 3 and DMC5 showed two things. Subgenre is great, scratches a niche not many games do. They, as long series, need to understand how to reach new levels for their fans. Yes, yes. Fucking 10,000% absolutely. And yeah, don't think the reason it works for both is Kamiya is 100% an arcade guy. Like, he understands that aspect of it. And it's why in Bayo 1, even in the few times I've had to, like, replay the game from scratch, it has never bothered me that I am without any of the later game tools. Because, you know, sometimes in Bayo 1, you could look at it and be like, you know, Scarborough Fair really is just all I need. That could, on the one hand, be a detriment, especially considering the weapon mechanical variety in Bayo 1 is very samey in a lot of regards. But that just makes the foundation that Bayo 1 have that much more fucking solid. Design games be good and skill-based at the start, while simpler and gets more complicated, you're riding that curve. Yeah. I think I even remember, like, a comment where it was like, when it came to Beautiful Joe, this wasn't Kamiya who specifically did it, but I think it was Inaba, because, you know, he's been a producer on plenty of Kamiya's games in the past and has a good understanding of what makes Kamiya's love of games tick. But he mentioned with Beautiful Joe that, like, during their testing phase, he actually played through the game through every level without upgrades. You know, none of the extra moves, none of the extra health, no shocking pink or boomerangs, anything like that. Just played through it completely vanilla just to prove that it was still doable and still fun, even if the default layout for even those later levels was still made to be harder anyway. And Wonderful 101, I think, especially helps getting away with it, despite being very long and full of, like, crazy over-the-top level gimmicks and genre shifts, because Wonderful 101 is literally the only character action game of its type. Nothing else is like it. Yeah, no, Revachol, that's where we are.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago.
Oh, that's some good old snark comeback from Kim.
Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Yeah, you tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb
Be
out
supportive,
of
white
post-war
friend.
limbo.
Yes, so we are in limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong
Oh,
here,
Jesus.
that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I'd like you to
Kim?
remember that.
I don't like where your attitude's going. I feel like this is gonna lead to, like, a potential misuse of your own authority.
The air between them becomes tense.
Oh, no.
Partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Well, Now that that's settled, we have a couple questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
Yeah, just diffuse that whole moment. God. But yeah, I guess also, yeah, just one last thing, getting back to, like, how Kamiya manages to, like, avoid the problem that I've been having of just, like, characters with their starting kit feeling handicapped. Nah, man, always support Cam. I wasn't sure how to, like, really handle it at the start. But just one thing is where it's like, because of how, you know, Wonderful 101 gets away with its, like, initial playthrough being what it is because it's so unlike anything, it's what gives me hope that Project GG will clearly be a similar thing, and also highlights how Bayo 3 trying to be Wonderful 101 again doesn't really work as well in its favor, because despite the new additions and, like, iterations and different, like, emphasis on certain things in combat, it's still Bayonetta. So you kind of have that identity problem at the same time. But yeah, it is kind of also an RE4 thing, funny enough. Yeah, it's like, that game as well. You have no idea what you're doing, and you're eating shit a lot throughout RE4 on your first time. But you're still having fun, because everything still feels doable, even when you're working with the most basic of tools. Yeah, entire game's built on a mechanic it does everything with. RE4 is aiming, Wonderful 101's drawing. The entire game's teaching you to be skilled with what you need to be skilled with, and challenging you with that same, like, core mechanic and skill in a variety of different ways, and as many possible configurations as they come up with. Absolutely. Like, it's still pretty funny thinking about it from a realistic sense in RE4, because the only reason that Leon's able to win is because, like, Los Illuminados just keeps putting new problems in front of him that are always solved with a gun. Just like a typical American. Anyway, back to the game and the conversation. What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Oh, that.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The
Oh,
science
fuck
of
you.
racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Right, I've already made up my mind. Want to hear it?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not down with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, Rant.
Also, you clearly were not paying attention last time where I successfully throat punched a racial supremacist and then 360 roundhouse kicked him in the fucking face. Watch your back. Does G-R-I-H. Yeah, good old, like, no tolerance for racists. That's how you should always handle it.
Do not presume this has drastically altered.
Oh god, he's already back up. I knocked you out like a god of martial arts.
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered. A little.
Oh, that's cool. It's a Kim line you would have gotten if you had met Measurehead after the racist dude.
It means very little.
So you serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
You keep telling yourself that.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means.
He also sounds like a piece of shit.
Front polycultural capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did.
Kim says that's too racist, but the third one will be really good.
Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
My jam's a mysterious fourth thing.
Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these.
That's the guy
ideas
behind the
from
door you opened. You
degenerate
can go to him now or
culture,
leave it till
have you
whenever.
not?
Okay.
You have picked them up from rock and roll songs?
I have gotten it from Disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a
Yeah, sounds
shame
awesome.
on my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
Wonderful. I need to enter the harbor now, or you could take the body down yourself, maybe.
What you need is to come to terms with extinction and never getting that dead body down from the tree.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next
Oh!
racist will be...
Oh, he still said the line that you were talking about! Oh, wow, he still says it anyway!
That will be the...
I don't even know... Oh, God, all these lines are so good! Oh, God, what a... Oh, man. The hell do I go with? There it is. Oh, shit. Even as a joke, I don't think I like the previous races much better. At least Measurehead is somewhat amusing in how even more smooth brain and insane his ramblings are. That will be our lucky
He
racist.
will grant us 3 wishes.
He'll grant us 3 wishes! Think you unlocked it by talking to the racist lorry driver. Okay.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding
man.
occiput and an indented zygomatic bone.
Yeah, this writing still continues to be absolutely on point in everything.
Lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Right. What are those tattoos you're supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
He gestures towards the lorryman down the street. Oh, God. We're still acknowledging that dude.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? You're pretty much done with Measurehead. Good job. You get fully red-pilled and said, yeah, this is dumb.
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
What else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Hul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
Interesting. So, one of my ancestors was Sir Leclerc and the other Vesper.
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Rivasholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Hul. That is the only reason you are here.
Alright, nice knowing you. Take solace in the fact that I still managed to beat the shit out of you with only an 8% chance of success. Fuckhead. Okay, we're still only 51% on internalizing our status as a communist. A book. If his skull was so superior, how come he got knocked out so easily? Exactly.
The front of this quarterly journal.
Let's check out this this book.
Portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Flip to the page and see what catches your eye.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention.
Or nudes.
Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Alright. What does the editor have to say?
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism.
Nice.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
Modern journalism.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
God. Poor Kim. That's all I could say, having to put up with our dumbass.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine.
Kim hitting you with the OFC, you moron.
You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd.
Just worst day of his career. Basically having to like play chauffeur for Hobocop Homer Simpson.
Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents. It takes a moment, but
Kunst und
gradually
Kultur.
it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Makes sense.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Let's check the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Cindy the Skull. Oh god. So the tip-top tourney.
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Alright, then let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top. Cindy the Skull, do better. Oh! Oh! Right, yeah! Oh, God, I almost forgot, because it was like she was that girl, kind of like on like the second floor of that, like the balcony of that building, whatever it was, next to Joyce. Right, I almost forgot about her because after my PC crashed on Wednesday and I had to like restart the stream, I didn't talk to her again. Right. Fuck, of course.
You think you're settling in for
Yeah.
a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers.
Okay.
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Oh boy, problematic pieces.
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Wait, what's wrong with a good motor crash? They just keep it interesting.
And that precisely is what's problematic
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Were
Ugh.
it not for the promise of random,
That's exactly what it
spectacular
is.
violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
Bringing it back to Bayo for a brief moment is like, hey, here's the entire timeline of how Helena Taylor completely torched her into her whole fucking voice acting career. Good job, idiot. And then another voice actor on that game you didn't get a role for does a fundraiser herself for Trans Lifeline. And she's the one voicing the character who is punk as hell.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these
That is-
750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Yeah, I just gotta make mention of that. Just like fucking Viola's voice actor doing that fundraiser. It was just like the timing of it coming up is like it just could not be any more deliberate. And that just makes me all the more respect her. It's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for. Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know Tip Top Tourney is actually an orgiastic ritual of capitalistic destruction? I had no idea. I say this while ignoring the fact that the only reason I care, apparently, is because I just like seeing the car crashes.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective.
Wow. I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed.
Let's just do everything we can to, like, encourage Kim's brain cells to just, like, commit suicide putting up with our dumbass.
If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Yeah, Helena could have been just a normal A, but she went, oh no, I want you to pay close attention to all my bullshit. Yep, and therefore inadvertently draw attention away from the bigger issue we've already gone on about of how voice actors in video games need to be treated better for, like, wages and working conditions. I mean, I guess unions like SAG-AFTRA do a good job of kind of ensuring that for the latter, but the pay is still not that guaranteed overall. Funny thing is, like, I actually, like, before this, like, just, like, made a tweet just kind of commenting on the obvious elephant of the room about, like, just Helena's reputation going down the drain. And now just some people, like, I've seen funny things from people, like, just taking it in all, like, the weirdest ways of feeling just how, like, shocked that their favorite character who's divined by this voice actor used to be voiced by a piece of shit, that they're wondering, man, I wonder if we could get Jennifer Hale to possibly redub the first 2 games now. And it's like, my dude, it's a voice for a fictional character. It's a fictional character. Get over it. Also, fucking hilarious that this is your first time experiencing it, while all of us DMC Dante fans on the other news are looking your way and going, first time? Yeah. Fucking Ruben Langdon. Anyway, let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First, we take Martinez. Then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Headlines or Twitter hashtags. At this point, that line has been sufficiently blurred. More importantly, charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward.
Oh, that is too fucking real. Oh, that is way too accurate, like the fucking hellscape that we're living in now. Or have always been living in. God.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Well, that was a fun diversion, I'd say. Welcome to the game. Members of the board's written on the top flyer. And at the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. Dewey typewriter, model names on the back, all that. You know, I think I've, so many random lines like that. Doors locked, cannot be opened from this side without a pass card. No choice but to talk to the union leader. I mean, like, wow, okay, I'm surprised. Like, just walked in and got stuck inside. Coffee machine on. Dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I had to figure that it was like, it's probably like, yeah, it's an item lying around. So if it's in the bathroom, sure. But let's just try this for the hell of it.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Oh, let your muscle memory dial a random number.
It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air.
Just fucking moving my index finger, like making a pentagram all the goddamn time.
Undoubtedly, no.
Oh, I might try this again later.
Why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
It's not that. You're locked into meeting Claire now. Oh. Okay. Alright. At least we might as well move something. Moves things along. Ooh, nice! Finally, healing items. Figured it'd be good to... Okay, that's just for morale. Yeah. Might as well. Ooh, sunglass. Oh, neat office shades. Let's see what these are. Oh, it's on your HUD. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I realized very soon after. All right. Visual... +1 to visual calculus, -1 to drama. stuffed away in the dock workers union office. They're perfect for scribbling down paperwork when the sun tries to get in your eyes. Good for staring down suspects, too. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's always random items in places. Neat. No, I'm still keeping the gloves on just because of how goofy it all is. Okay. A postcard. Alright. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank's already fully renovated. Hillsides are lush with gardens and residents. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely already thinking that that's what I'm going to do, even if it's so far not
On
much.
second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
Oh.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Alright then.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Alright, we'll browse
Hundreds
through.
of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Well, I guess it's time to put that volition to good use.
Whatever's hidden here
Yes.
is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
I gotta say, but quickly before I, go to this one. Really good, effect and, visual audio feedback on when you're doing those skill checks when it's rolling the dice. You know, just, the build-up. Too bad your morale was hit. You could have killed it, but hey, you got it any... Wait, it's, typed. Yeah. Alright, let's look at the
It
notes.
appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Evrart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Evrart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Kim. A to-do note with a list for errands for Evrart.
Evrart Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
Well, let's take a look at another look at the notes.
Remember, Leo, all items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled. The
Okay,
drawer
fine. Nothing
slides.
else. Keep looking around. Ooh! Alright. Up on the roof now. Nice. Collecting rainwater. All around you, great machines and quiescence. These 3 packs worth of cigarette butts, numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red.
Snow is quietly covering the
Ooh.
numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence.
Oh no!
it was you.
Oh. Every new revelation about our drunken bender the night before is just getting more and more ridiculous. I'm still not completely convinced it was me.
I am, but it doesn't matter right now. Let's just move on.
Alright.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we met Renee earlier.
You need to rest. Your body is aching. Getting in here has taken something out of you. Have a seat.
Yeah. Alright. Yep. He works for the Union and is an old fucking boomer. Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick seat.
It's not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Breathe deep.
Stale air floods through your nostrils. Not a single mote of dust floats inside your lungs, though. The inside of the booth is immaculate.
Alright, let's search for a little something to help you out.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Does this heal me? I guess we're about to find out. Read the side effects first.
Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence, watery blood, black mucus, uncontrollable weeping, increased sensitivity to La Opera,
Oh wow.
inoperable joint disorder, total spinal collapse.
These are some fantastic made-up medical side effects for taking medicine.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Kid, would you mind if I help myself to some meds?
I'm not here to tell you what to do, detective.
Well, alright, here goes.
You take the painkillers. They are yours now.
Oh!
You stand and exit the booth.
Hold on. Look at that! Yo! That was totally good from the get-go.
This is the night.
Just enough to fill it to max, too. That feels awesome.
No.
Yeah. Tip-top shape already. So this is where Renee works. I'm gonna look
If
around.
you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets
Guess I'm good
are
to go
clean
with
and their
Evrart.
sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Take the
It's
picture.
a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about it.
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure. As long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, like, admittedly, that's kind of the thing I was thinking of doing, that I was hoping that this would eventually lead to, because, you know, dirtbags, as a lot of these NPCs might be, they're still complicated and interesting. Might as well learn a bit more, wherever I can. Revachol Fair, summer of 91. Very nice. Ooh, we're almost there on Mazovian socioeconomics. Nice. Early impressions usually are the worst. True. Even if there's something you wholeheartedly disagree about them because you think it's bad, they're still people. There's still a lot more to learn about them. About to get my visual calculus back. Yeah. Finally. Let's just make sure that we get as much as we can out of...
A rusting control panel
Ooh.
with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
Oh. Oh, good for getting it early, because since you don't need much visual calculus in the beginning. Nice. Yeah, and all because I had the foresight to like see what my brain had to ask me about whether or not I was ready to go full communist. Yeah, you bet I'm just gonna like fuck around. Time to fuck around and find out.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
All right. Moving quite slow. There it is. There it is. There's the continue prompt.
With a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container.
Wait, first try? Oh, God. Was the second option supposed to just, like... You can open that at some point.
This
Okay.
crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
So what's inside the container?
Who can say? All you know is, it's special.
I can't see how that was worth the records, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Huh. I want to check at least up by that box first, because if that's for crane controls, I somehow doubt that this crane also has the mechanism for opening the container.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Then I think there's something special about this container.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I was hanging from the crane.
You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
No reply. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail.
Sorry, Kim, but I am too fixated on this goddamn container.
To your left, the lieutenant considers
Oh,
your
God.
actions with some puzzlement.
Persuade the door to open. I, Estonian drunk hobo cob and the international president of the International House of Pancakes, order you to open.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Never mind.
Are you satisfied, detective?
Nothing more to do here for now. I had to pull like a brief, like, I don't even think I quoted part of that correctly, just pulling a bit from like Freeman's mind, where literally there is a moment early on where like Ross Scott just like, as Freeman is like just shouting at like an automated door that's on the fritz to open, and he's saying like, I, Gordon Freeman, and head of the Intergalactic House of Pancakes, order you to open. And then it opens and he's like, huh, I guess that works. Okay. Yeah, but that's a good shit. Oh, sweet, and we got like an extra healing item in case we need it. And some more real. Shipyard is oddly quiet. That more money? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, we're slowly getting there. We're getting there. Actually, you know, I'm gonna fuck around again with that crane. Push the other button, see what happens. It's funny the currency is called real and pronounced like that. Yeah. Oh, there it is. We got our vicious.
Very, very slightly, even more faded with use.
We got our visual calculus back. We got it. What? Oh wait, seriously? You're saying as in because that's the currency here? You're saying that's like the currency in Saudi Arabia? If so, that's interesting. Yeah. Actually, hold on. I need to check this.
Mazovian socioeconomics.
Here it is. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Saudi real.
0.00% of communism has been built.
Oh,
Evil,
man.
child-murdering billionaires
Oh,
still rule
yes!
the world with a shit-eating grin. All
Fucking
he has managed
Musk.
to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmezov fucked him over personally with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
Left-wing dialogue options give +4 XP. -1 to visual calculus. So there's still a penalty. Reaction everywhere. -1 to authority. Downtrodden inva communist. Great. Okay. Well. Yeah, still better. Okay. But eventually the time will come that we can get a new
A rusted
slot.
control panel with
A
several
penalty,
knobs.
but you could use the new
Words,
XP to
marsh,
fix. Absolutely.
Arrête. The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all.
Okay. So it didn't even matter. Let me guess. Evrart, if I had pressed that the first thing, it would have just dropped the crane right then and there or some bullshit. Is that what would have happened? Oh, I broke it. Okay. I think it would have moved it elsewhere, but wait a minute. Okay. Oh, hey. Look at you.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red.
Easy, Leo.
Container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along.
I could tell.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Moon.
Ubisoft? Be right back, taking pass. Okay. I'll see what Easy Leo has. We'll see how much of a possible scumbag he is.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines.
Or he might not be.
Container, now belongs to Evrart.
Aye.
Evrart, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I'm definitely gonna feel like an asshole potentially for what I'm gonna say next.
See, you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people with scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
It's like British mixed with Minnesotan dialects.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Oh, I get it. What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Yeah, thanks, Kim. Thanks for the insight. Say, are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old
Oh.
head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
Wait, what was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
So, what do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Hold on. Who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
Wow. The special borscht. Huh.
He didn't actually understand what you meant. And now he's just nodding along.
Oh, man, this guy. So, do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Evrat's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Evrart is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Right.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Clearly, especially when you and the rest of your guys are on strike.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
So, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Evrart put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
Oh. Infertile?
Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Evrart trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
I think you're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright.
Man. You know, I think we could say we've all known, or maybe in some cases have been, that one coworker who kind of goes above just trying to, like, make the workplace go a lot smoother and more pleasant for the remaining guys there on the team.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
Welcome back. We're actually we're having quite the pleasant chat with old Leo over here. He's pretty nice. So where is everyone? Harbor's empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
But probably because he's kind of dumb. Yeah. Yeah, possibly just unknowingly or, like, unknowingly, who knows.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
Jesus, it's been going on that long for you guys.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrart is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrart sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
Oh.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town.
I mean, you said kind of dumb, but I also would not be surprised if he's occasionally, like, knowing a bit more than he lets on. You know? There's obviously more layers to, like, just these variety of NPCs, even the ones that seem to be very nice and have simple purposes, like Leo here. But, like, what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Oh, how fortunate for you.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Wait, so too rowdy? Leo, what kind of fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving,
fuck.
and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more
Oh,
words.
boy.
This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who, no, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Oh, that's nice. Like the one time they're not even bothering to have him say what he's actually saying, but the voice in your head is saying, oh god, he's going on about so many things. Please get the conversation going in a different direction. So, what are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on there?
Everything is so pretty and
Oh,
red.
no.
You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Wow. Red is so much prettier than drab old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Game feels like real conversations in the best and worst ways. Uh-huh.
I
mean, I even made like a comment earlier, I think, like while you were still away taking a piss, but
which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
like Leo definitely reminds me of that one person that we probably had that when like working a job somewhere. That one person who's like kind of going above and beyond, mostly just in terms of like just doing decent things around like the workplace for the rest of the team that like makes the little things at work a bit more pleasant, you know, like all the stuff he's been talking about, especially what with like bringing like borscht to like all the other workers that are participating in the strike, things like that. And even like the stuff that he usually does, like writing notes for himself to get things done. Yeah, we've all known that kind of guy. You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Would you say not all Ubis in this case?
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
But enough about that. I'm looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union.
Oh, you want Mr. Evrart then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm sure they're about as nice as Joyce described to us out of the harbor.
Guys like Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Evrart and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Yeah, like Rat, you said probably because he's kind of dumb, and like I think this is kind of reinforcing that it's like he either is completely oblivious and out of the loop to the awful shit going on, or he absolutely does know and he's keeping a tight-lipped on it. But say before talking to Evrart, oh yeah.
Patience. Deep down you have the mental power to keep listening. Not many would, but you do.
But yeah, it's like he could know a lot more than he lets on, and it's real sinister, or he is just that happily oblivious to the horrible stuff going on with regards to Evrart. It really could be either way, and that's what worries me.
Oh, Mr. Evrart is where he always is. In his office, of course.
2 joint containers on my right.
Bye-bye now.
Alright. Do a proper save. Let's see how this goes. And this may is, and like, what goes down with Evrart may or may not actually be the end of the stream, you know? I don't know, we'll see how much more there is possibly to do that's worth doing. Like, I don't know. Maybe just give me a hint, but like, is the event that we're going to be doing with Evrart, is that like the end of day 1, as you described it? Or is there still technically more to do before the day is truly over? Coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. Yeah. There he is. Actually, it's late, so after this talk, you'll go back to the hotel, have a convo with Kim, followed by the dream. Okay. Text during fish. Yeah, this could be the end stream. Cool. That's fine. Then I can get November started proper with like some different games, and then I can continue to chip away at this playthrough on my off time, because I'm definitely going to want to see this through to the end at some point. It's just, you know, like I said before, treating this like a comfy game. I'm in no rush. I'm just appreciating just what this game has to throw at me. Anyway, Evrart.
Before you is a walrus.
Oh God.
Seated behind
Oh God, I'm looking at this dude's portrait. I absolutely hate him already.
Not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort,
Oh.
he straightens himself up in his chair.
Oh man.
Says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Oh, this dude already screams, greasy bastard.
A typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone.
Alright, let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
A tiny chair opposite the giant
I'm
desk.
Evrart Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health...
Even his
prevents me from
voice
getting
makes me
up.
hate him.
You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking folding
You
chair.
go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from
Yeah, fuck it. I'm just taking all the blunt aggro dialogue choices here, just cause yeah. Why the fuck are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
I don't care if you call me Dubois or Dick Mullins or whatever. None of these are my name.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
Don't give up, but don't leave either. You're going to have this conversation on your terms.
Yes.
You
Yes.
just need to remain
I'm the
headstrong.
one in control here. Not you, you fat fuck.
Evrart starts whistling a little worker song. He really is trying to ignore you, or will you out of existence.
Stand strong.
The lieutenant stands right next to you, not showing any signs of impatience or boredom.
I see you are an extremely stubborn man, Mr. Dubois. That ain't necessarily a bad thing.
You did it.
Yes!
This might help against whatever comes next.
The benefits of being a stubborn, petty bastard. Literally what I choose to live by.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today? Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say.
Lawrence Gart.
This should take care of that nonsense.
What?
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few
Oh.
days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
A comically sized check for 25. 25 real. I was able to get 134 just from like hoaxing it out of that fucking PR rep on the yacht in the in the bay or whatever the fuck. Wait, hold on. You know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show.
You basically choose who pays your debt. That's... Okay, that's good. I do appreciate when I get to see those moments. As far as, like, how the structure ultimately works out and making sure... Because for every amount of branching paths you might have for a scenario in a game, you still need to have it reconvene at some point if you want the game to continue without having a bunch of loose ends. You know, that's what the whole diamond, structure mentality is for. Like, you could still take money from both, maybe, but I already hate this fat dude's, like, guts so much that I almost on principle don't want to take it anyway. No, I'm still going to be like the aggro bad cop in this case. You can take that comically large check and shove it up your ass.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No
Sinks
handouts,
further
then.
into his chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Yep. Going back to, again, those side quests.
His slug-like lips move, but
oh no.
all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I'm not worried. I got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little
You can find out your gun, your
Don't
lost gun from here.
Everything's
Yeah.
going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Well, that's good. The last thing I want is for my gun to land in the hands of fucking Kuno.
Oh fuck. It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
Side effect spooks. Don't panic.
God.
Damn
you're
it.
Sweating.
Oh no!
Jerking.
Oh no!
You're about to cry, aren't you?
Oh
You're about to cry because you
no!
lost your gun, and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this?
Oh my
Mr.
god,
Dubois?
all that morale I got back for nothing.
What is he trying to pull here?
You need to cool the fuck down, man. Chill. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something?
Oh
Are
my
you having
god.
some kind of medical emergency?
This slime ball got me so good.
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Nah, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As
Play nice, then you
entertaining
still
as it
get hit,
was,
but can avoid most
I'm afraid
damage.
We're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
God. Like, this is basically a boss fight, but instead of the boss fight resulting in you taking physical damage and dying, it is all based on emotional damage.
Okay, enough. We are here to
Oh,
ask some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window.
It's your window.
Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop.
All right, here we go.
Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
What's on the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, There are literally millions of
Oh, the
containers
chair
in
can
this
kill you
harbor.
physically?
I couldn't
Oh.
possibly remember
Oh, then I was
all of them.
smart not to take it. Because fuck folding chairs. They're the worst. Like, I hate using them as well if I can help it in real life. Something special about it. It's attached to the convulsant crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch.
Ah!
Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container.
Oh,
You should
God.
at least try convincing it.
I technically already tried that. It didn't work. Anyway, I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along.
Enough. She gave me enough money to, like, pay the cafeteria manager. That was nice.
One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martin 8.
Basically
Don't
got through
feel
all
like you
possible
shouldn't
damage
work
now, I
with
think.
her just because
Excellent.
You and I are such good friends.
We'll do that
I'm
then.
not a jealous guy.
So what happened to the previous negotiator? Mr. Gamont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
My brother in Christ, you called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization.
Oh,
I
fuck
would never call
you.
someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
This dude deserves to die 1,000 deaths. Easily. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on?
Such
Better go home and
bull-faced
check.
lies.
The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
God.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Yeah, funny. She didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it.
His heart's truly
think so,
in
Bayonetta.
being a piece of shit.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Look, Evrart, Joyce seems to think that the Union is lowballing her here.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
He's a corrupt toe, but he is a legit socialist. Yeah, that's the extra frustrating part. Like, I'm all for unions. I don't like you being the one in charge of this union,
His
though.
expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
So why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
That's what your mind can discern? Oh, it's still deeper than that? Oh, God.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
All right, fine. Let's talk about something else then.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This
Yeah.
is a completely transparent organization.
That's what makes your mind in this game great. You can figure out people with good stats. Okay, I'll admit, your last message, when you said your mind, I thought you were referring to my personal mind, not the mind in the game. Now I understand the full context, and yes, that is absolutely, like, the genius part. It's like, yeah. Because conversation is the whole point of the game, having different stats to discern particular traits in certain people is totally the point.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
I misread that as singing swordfish cock, and I got a different mental image.
Everything. Evrart doesn't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, like, this being a good, yeah, this is a good detective game, for sure. You know? Not like that other detective game that people remember. The one with the LA cops in the 50s. Fucking LA Noire. Another 7th gen special that game was.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it?
About as memorable and, like, worthwhile in
right
value as many of those other games. From that console gen. Anyway, I'm looking into your Shady Brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady Brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care.
Oh, wow. I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that
Secret
the
task
connected to the
complete.
strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I sense there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Kim, is that true? Are we door-opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Guess what? There is absolutely something shady about it since you said it.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here.
Cosmic frown!
As your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
So why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
Dude, look, I know I managed to throat punch and then flying 360 roundhouse kick the racial supremacist that was, like, standing on top of the gate to your harbor. But that was just a fluke. You don't understand. I just had, like, just the adrenaline hit at the right time. I am not that strong. I am not.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
Exactly. I had a heart attack reaching for my tie. I was reaching for my tie and I didn't have the common sense to turn off the fan that it was attached to. I am a complete mess of a human being. Anyway, what do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
I bet you don't even know a damn thing about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Damn it, fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know.
But I'm not
when
just
it's
gonna leave the
done,
door
and we
open.
can
If
take
I
our
can,
friendship
I'm
to the
gonna,
next
like, go
level.
in there and see what is in there so I could, like, sabotage whatever effort that he's trying to go for.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Huh. Anyway, let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him.
Wow.
He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Hold on. Could he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
So, wait. The gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it.
Oh shit, they know.
Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You
Top
focus
men.
on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
He doesn't know. I'll not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't
Yeah, he
have it
really
around
does
in my
not
neighborhood.
know as much as he is presenting.
Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned
Oh, wow.
about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Yep.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
Could you... Look, could you help me get a dead body down from a tree already?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Yeah, you're a community leader. Help your community out, if that's what you care about.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
Some? That wasn't your immediate first fucking concern?
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
Alright.
Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
he's going to help you. Now that he's back on his feet.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's who Measurehead was. Oh, no. Oh, I still have to work with him. No. Oh, well. Alright. You call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Evrart, I call you Harry.
No, that doesn't change anything. Like, why am I Harry?
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
Wait, that really my name?
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
Jesus, don't tell the whole world now.
I think the odds of that are very low.
It's true, my memory is a bit hazy.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is, I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out.
Please no.
I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
I am not very comfortable with you having this much information about me already.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Also, the fact that this probably implies a lot of, like breach of security with police confidential documents.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Oh, no.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder.
First, yeah.
As you look at the
Ooh,
folder,
that was actually
Evrart
successful.
takes his hand and pets it. He's hiding
Oh.
from you because it's not a
Oh,
real
he's trying to
RCM.
bullshit me.
It's just another one.
Oh,
of the
you
rare
motherfucker.
folders you saw in the file cabinet.
It's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me.
Yeah.
This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
Yeah, pot calling kettle black. Look who's talking.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau.
He
Like
looks
I said,
annoyed.
now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
Always feels so good when you're able to, like, successfully get a skill check when your percentage of success is below 50.
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Ah, yes, now the turns have tabled.
The pity. The mystery of you will
Yeah!
have to remain a mystery for the time.
After all that morale damage he did to me about my fucking lost gun, this was most deserved. So the Census Bureau says my name's Harry Dubois, huh?
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
So aren't you gonna ask me how I got in?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry.
Yes!
Spin kicked my strongest
Acknowledgement!
man in the face. I saw it from my window.
Exactly. You want another demonstration?
Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
You don't have a window.
It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. I'm in a container. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
So, I'm told the union's involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
So this part and the two parts that end your night is where I realized I loved this game and really wanted to get through it. Yeah, I mean, like, the fact, like, the morale damage and just the back and forth of just trying to, like, break through everyone's, like, psychological defenses. Like I said, this might as well be the way you do a boss fight in a game built around dialogue. And it's not even being framed explicitly as, like, this is a boss fight of words. It just happens naturally. And there's been, like, a buildup of all this time of getting to Mr. Evrart. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna lie.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I
Like
know
this,
you'll never talk
yeah,
to me
this
about
part's
the game,
really
because
good.
You don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject.
Cool.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
Mm-hmm.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Evrart, I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Oh, great. Wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Ah, there we go. That's our ticket out. Excellent. Wow, that was a hell of a conversation, to say the least. Wow. God. That was so good. So I guess let's actually talk with him and get if he's got anything
hey,
else.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did.
That's why
yes,
I pushed
did.
into it.
It's like
Yeah.
Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building.
Wait, what?
They only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Leo, in the future, can we keep this greeting shorter?
Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Okay, I'm off. That's all. Alright. Back to the hotel we go. Pretty much done for the day. Yeah, Leo. To be fair, though, I kind of wish that there was actually a dialogue option. It was like, hold on, where's this bathhouse that was open underneath apartment? And, like, can I go there? Felsen means whale fjord in Arden. Interesting. Well, yeah. You know, even though we lost morale, at least it was a good thing that we got back
Looks
all
like
that.
someone left his tarpaulin cloak
Oh.
hanging on the railing here. There is a white rectangle clearly visible on its back. This is your cloak. You can feel it.
Oh, shit. Lieutenant? I think that's mine.
Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia.
Yep,
And we are
guess
the
who
only
it is.
detectives in our
It's
place.
me. Good job, past me. You think I should get it?
Service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes.
Oh,
yes,
no.
As
All
your
right.
fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
Great. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what it has for stats. Huh. Yeah, why not? It still gives us the same +1 to a spirit decor, but also +1 shiver, so why not? That's fine. Plus, it's kind of raining now. Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, that's him. Believer Utopia. So, how'd you like our harbor? It was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Evrart said you have a key to a door?
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Said it belongs to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
Well, I heard something about a weasel, and it didn't sound like a local polar weasel, if you know what I mean.
Polar weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure he's actually Occidental, though. So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend.
Oh.
What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling and rags. That's all I know. Our
Behind the whirling and
organization
rags.
is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Okay, so anything else I should know about this task? This weasel person, when he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Who he is and what they're fighting for? This is interesting.
Yeah, good talking to you. I could say more, but I do want to get back to my hotel. It is already past 8 p.m. this day. All right, then. Inside we... Whoa. Okay. Looks like a disco ball. And so the end of the day, head to your room. Okay. And we'll do just that. Kim tries not to look at your broken down bathroom door. I completely forgot about this empty cassette case. What the hell? Used to be a tape in this case, but it was destroyed in the fit of rage. Oh yeah, so I can't even use it. Sell it just for some cents. Head to your room, or maybe you have another hour to kill. I don't know, maybe. Let's click. This looks like our bed.
It's cold.
Oh yeah.
Not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Oh, we still have an hour to go. Fuck. Is there... God, is there anything else I could do to just, like, quickly move time forward? Because we're already, like, 2.5 hours in. Talk to the chick in the wheelchair.
Hello, sweetie.
Oh, you can sit on a bench.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer.
I'm no Sweetie. Look at me.
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your
The
chiseled
cryptozoologist's
jaw and
wife.
that silly dimple on your chin.
I don't want to talk about the dimple anymore.
I'm sorry if I was being overly familiar. I know we've only just met. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew.
Hire her on the spot. Actually, no, I do kind of want to like find like the bench in question. Like the bench is outside, if I recall, right? Yeah, these. Yep.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've...
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when...
Oh, god damn it, he needs to be gone. That's the problem. Fuck. Ugh, alright, fine. Well, I guess we'll keep talking with old Lena. You seem to be in a chair.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone
Just keep talking with people to pass time.
To use the lower half
Talk to Gaston or Lena. Yeah.
Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
A grenade? Did you fight in the war?
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty.
Were you a mountaineer?
Nothing so glamorous, dear. Though when I was young, I dreamt of planting the Revacholian flag on some figurative peak.
What'd you do then?
I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail-order shoe company.
Okay.
You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and, well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
Thanks for clearing that up for me. Let's move on.
No problem.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Yeah, she seems alright. How'd you like to roll with me?
Whatever do you mean?
I want you to be my wheelchaired partner in fighting crime, ridding backyards of corpses, catching sequence killers. Or, none, I was thinking of the lyrics to a song. Want to roll with me?
Yes. Probably roll with me by the Fletchers.
Yeah, that's probably more appropriate for her instead of just the
at me.
joke that's in poor taste. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know where I am or what I'm doing or anything.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Dude, I drank so hard I forgot literally everything.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
The Whirling and Rags cafeteria was on my keys.
That's right. And where is the Whirling and Rags cafeteria itself located?
In Revachol.
Yes. Indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol.
Honestly, I don't know diddly squat about Revachol. What kind of place is this?
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
It's a bad year in my late 40s or 50s. I don't know how old I am.
There. The year is 51, and spring has only just started. I'm sure there are better days ahead.
She looks flustered, her hands smoothing out the creases in her blanket, even as she attempts to reassure you. The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind. We're in this now.
I can tell that this is taxing
Oh
for
my
you,
God,
so
that's a
I'll
lot.
just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
We're governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Lena is a big part of NPC. Being used to control people's minds and distort our perceptions of reality, concealing our true masters. Foreigners and women.
Oh no, nothing like that, dear. Revachol
Oh, that's
is
a shame.
zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no matriarchy.
And that's a shame.
She's trying to avoid the foreigner's part. This is because she's a woman. She may be lying to you.
I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed.
It is quite disappointing, yes. A lot of people would like some form of representation. There's talk, but for now, the RCM is all we've got.
She's usually who gives you info about the world when you start off. I'm definitely seeing that now. I think my perception of like what this game was would definitely have changed if I had decided to take things slower in this building on the at the start of the playthrough and just like talk to her. But if there's no government, how come there are cops?
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now.
Oh.
She's realized you really are brain damaged.
What's this revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new.
Oh,
something
yeah.
different. The rest of the world didn't like
Wow.
it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
But what does that have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
God, yeah, it's just really... This is just a world where cops basically have like just the free reign to go where they're needed to do their job, even when it's in an area that is not where they're supposed to be.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do
Should
I
hint
know
this
of
game was
these
made by a
things?
former
How can I
Soviet
help?
bloc. Yeah, you don't say. Yeah. Like media made in any country that was east of the Iron Curtain. It's got a very particular soul to it that you don't really get anywhere else in the rest of Europe, let alone the Western world. So how'd I do?
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
Oh no.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Alright.
She means this sincerely, Worrying won't do you any good.
So, who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't
Get a
know.
reality
Someone
lowdown.
rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Alright. You have no idea where you are. Lena encouraged you to ask others to explain the world. Perhaps try a rich person. It's funny because I already talked to people like Joyce earlier, you'd think. Oh well. Let's find Gaston again. There he is. Or, wait, that's...
We're still waiting
No, that's
for
Renee.
a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
Oh yeah, that's right. We can finally confront him on this bullshit. Hey, I found your guard booth.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night.
For future reference, Joyce will give you that lowdown. Okay.
I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway,
Okay.
and money is tight.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
That just unlocks Joyce's reality lowdown. Okay. I saw a picture in there. Or, no, I gotta do this in order. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
So who's working on your shift that night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrart created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Wow, okay. Like, such dependency only weakens a man further. Renee's but one man need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Jesus, man. A socialist helping out an old nationalist even though they're both shits? Huh, guess things can be complicated. Yeah, that's certainly the truth.
Yes, yes, yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
He is not going to become an entrepreneur.
He's not going to be an entrepreneur anytime soon. So I saw a picture in there. You were in it. You look happy. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern. And I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Well, that's concluded. Where's the... Oh, God, I am so close as well to a level up.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway. So might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yeah, definitely going to see what Gaston has to say.
That's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat ass of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Looks delicious. Can I have a bite of that?
I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food. Nothing personal, it's just a principle.
The only one you have.
Oh. Please, man, can I just have a bite?
Believe me, officer, I wish I could help you, but I need this sandwich to keep my blood sugar stable. In my age, you need to pay attention to these things.
Please, friend, let's just share it.
Fuck off! It's mine!
Wow!
Sorry, officer. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
He
I
exploded.
didn't mean it in a bad way. But the sandwich is mine. I'm not gonna share it.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get a bite of his dear sandwich and he gets claws? We are a special kind of vermin, Gaston.
So you mentioned Jean-Marie Bellou. Who's that?
Oh, sweet Jenny.
Jenny.
She was the finest
Oh, Jenny,
woman
not
in
Jean.
all of Revachol. Maybe the entire world.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston. Let her rest in peace.
So you both know her.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives, just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us have been best friends since we were 4. She was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16. They were courting till he decided he'd rather die for some great ideal than just be happy.
And then you stole her from me.
Oh, fuck. It was a love triangle.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close
Oh,
ever
God.
since you two had that falling out over the ink you spilled over her pretty yellow dress.
Jesus Christ.
We were just boys then. This was different. You... No point starting this all over again. For the 1000th and the first time. Especially when we have company. Officer.
Yeah, but right now let's just do what I wanted to do. Let's internalize rigorous self-critique. You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent. A flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be groveling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself in a Mazovian show trial, or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of 9 tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticize yourself. Who knows? You might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. It does mean I'm going to lose 1 point of authority, but we might as well. So what happened to her?
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. It was a quiet passage, peaceful.
Alright.
René and I were both by her bedside when she...
died. No use sugarcoating it. Won't bring her back. Will it now?
Wow.
departed. Until the very hand she couldn't decide between us. The most indecisive woman I've ever met.
Oh, and you can use a point to forget one in case you want to change something. Oh! Oh, so that's how it could also work. Right. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely making the skill point allocation method, like, way more interesting than what I thought it was initially. Where I thought it would be just adding to these. It's for future use, yeah. Anyway, why do you think she was indecisive?
She could never make up her mind about anything. What to have for breakfast, favorite color, or which one of us to marry. She was always leaving one of us for the other, but never long enough to actually get married.
Nothing wrong with weighing your options first.
Heck, technically, we're both still engaged to her.
You always confused her. Couldn't let us be happy. Seduced her with your fancy words and pastries.
He suddenly remembers you are still there.
Oh.
Falls silent and turns away.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
So, tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with your ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Respect?
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even speak properly.
Oh, God, just... Oh, this fucking, like, hostile tension between the two.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrart.
How do you know him?
Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on.
Funny how he's the one describing, like, the girl that they fancied as indecisive, yet he is the one that is, like, taking the position that tries to present itself as, like, not deciding immediately, except it always ends up slanting anyway towards, like, just the, like, the worst outcome of the two.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath.
Like, he's not being as outwardly hostile about just, like, talking about any of this shit the same way René is. But he's also not making much of a better case for himself compared to his partner.
There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
So are you a union member?
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties. Help with little things. Evrart, Edgar, and the older debarders all know me.
So you're not an actual member?
Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card. But Evrart keeps me on the payroll. Just for the little things.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. He's a reservain. Turns the way the wind blows and tries to look important.
Yeah, fence sitting is absolutely, like... That's the term that should have come to my mind. I knew I was trying to, like, go for something, because... Yeah. Like that entire mentality and how it's contrast with how... René's an asshole. But at least he's an asshole who makes it clear that that's what he thinks and is just not gonna, like, budge on it, even though it makes him a piece of shit.
I hate the socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better than living your entire life on the fence.
Oh, and even then, oh god, he just straight up summarizes Gaston's entire fucking problem as a person. God. Yeah. Yeah, like, even... Yeah, just, like, imagine, like, how it's, like, even if your centrism still kind of leans you in the direction of, like, someone that might be taking a very extreme, harmful political stance, it's still pissing off the people who take that politically extreme stance, but are at least outward in owning it. Just, God. So what are the little things you do for Evrart?
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words, people say.
So what kind of things are you writing for him?
Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers. About Martinez and how things are and how they could be. Evrart and I had these long talks where...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Alright, that's all.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
Yeah. Yeah, not surprising. Yeah. Like, René's extremist and an asshole, but he has a point in just clearly explaining what the fuck Gaston's role in all this is. Go for the sandwich to waste time. Yeah, I was thinking that.
A man so
Damn it.
principled about his sandwich calls for a principled approach. Time to get political.
Wait, what is political?
This right here is political.
These options... Oh, wow. These options seem awfully fascist or communist. What if I don't want to say them?
Say one of these fascist or communist things, or fuck off.
As we're talking about all this fence-sitting bullshit with Gaston, now we're also asking if we should, like, sit on the fence of this, and we're like, no, asshole. Pick one or the other. I made you fail this because this failure's a classic.
Whoa, easy there, Goldmouth. He doesn't have to say anything. Re-engage cop mode and bail out, if you like.
Ugh. Thing is, like, it being late in the day is, like, my tiredness is making me confused as far as, like, which one is the fascist and which one is the communist answer. I feel like one might be implying it's, like, the fascist. It feels like that's kind of, like, the attitude of it. Yes, I do want 4 XP. 2 is communist? Alright, 2 it is.
What? What oppressors?
I'm not going to listen to this comic connery.
Huh?
Let me ask you, comrade, did you make the sandwich yourself? The fast is the racist one with the foreign shit. Right, yeah. Yeah, I should have realized. Look, comrade, the overabundance this sandwich embodies is inherently evil.
I really don't understand how my sandwich could...
Wouldn't you rather have a proper sandwich? A sandwich with a soul? Wouldn't you rather eat a sandwich free of the bourgeois guilt baggage?
I would rather just have this one, officer. It's really good.
Tell this lost comrade what
no.
the people's sandwich would be like. Distill the essence of the working man in a sandwich.
Imagine a sandwich, absolutely minimal in design, sleek, efficient, simple.
The skepticism emanating from the Merry Senior could be sensed all the way to the Seminine Isles.
Salt is essential. There can't be too much, because isn't proletariat the salt of society?
You're describing prison food, officer. I like different, better
Ah,
food.
damn.
Fine dining, not jail time. Please, just drop it.
Oh, alright, fine. I did a good enough job wasting time with that anyway. Ah, oh well. We're still a few minutes away from it being 9 p.m. Still, that was a pretty funny fucking tangent. I guess yell at guards or something. God, I'm trying to remember again where the fuck is. Or just spam Cindy. Yeah. That's true, yeah. Yeah, when I redid this on stream on Wednesday, I never talked to Cindy. No time like the present.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent.
The streets will not flow.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know?
Yep, that's her.
Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Hep? Yeah, when were you last tested?
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking for?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust.
That
it's
was
difficult to
completely
tell which of
different
the two
line
is
right
more
there.
Present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
You mean Joyce?
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world.
Yeah, I don't like her either.
Pig's not half as dumb as he looks.
So what are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural An aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Catch you later.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Oh yeah, for future playthroughs, you could get Joyce to talk about Cindy, and Joyce destroys her soul. Oh, that sounds great. But anyway, it's past 9, so I think it is about time we wrap up this stream. Let's get to the end of day 1 proper. Let's do this. But yeah, for like the first day, and with the 2 end things, alright. But yeah, even with this all being done in like 3 streams for the first day, it's been pretty fucking eventful.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Redecorated. Well, good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
And the day debrief. Alright, let's go. Let's see how this goes.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
okay, neither of them are too long. That's good.
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
I think I might want to pick up smoking. Do you have any more cigarettes?
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly 1 cigarette every night while going over my notes.
How did you get so cool, Kim?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Yeah, that's smoking.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Right then, the debrief.
It's been a long and eventful day.
How do you think today went?
Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it. I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on.
Yeah, nice little... Finally getting to know Kim for real. Enjoy. He's basically assessing you. Yeah, I could tell. Just recapping what we've been through and just giving like the rundown.
The body is still hanging from that tree, which is unfortunate. And there's still much to do at the crime scene.
He is not particularly satisfied with your progress.
Yeah.
But he doesn't
yeah, we
want you
did
to
kind of
feel
dick around a
completely
lot.
Discouraged. Probably out of fear that you'll just give up and keep drinking.
It's all part of the plan. Starting from the outside, working back toward the scene of the murder.
It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Evrart Claire.
Yep.
He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
Yeah, I'm sure I could get it to tell us more.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
I want a different name, one I haven't ruined yet.
You can look into the process of changing your name after we finish this investigation. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running?
Oh.
Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
Literally addressing the fact that, like, we just, like, went to all the different corners of this little district, including, like, just some bits where it was simply running and not even talking. Wow. Wow. I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those heels. Nice shoes, by the way. I like
Oh,
the green.
thanks.
Goes with the orange.
So, what are our powers exactly, the RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Oh, they go out of the way to address that a few times. The game constantly comments on your playstyle. It's pretty good at it, actually. Yeah, you know, it's also another neat RPG that does a good job of, like, assessing your playing habits. Alpha Protocol. Just to keep bringing that up and shilling it for the eventual stream playthrough.
Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM.
So it's 1,000. Why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Okay, what else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
I see. And if someone resists?
We are permitted to use whatever force we deem necessary, even lethal.
Have I killed anyone?
That's an improbability. Perhaps even impossibility.
I probably have.
Precinct 41 is known for a higher than average rate of police violence.
That's not very reassuring. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes. The last time was 4 years ago.
He says it matter-of-factly and moves on.
Respect.
He has internalized it well. It's just that. A fact. A self-contained past event.
Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty...
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
So then who makes all these rules? The coalition government?
Yes, the international community's mission in Revachol. And the moral...
Oh yeah, I agree. This song's real good right now.
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government formed the RCM.
Let's say it was the coalition government.
It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the moral intern Lysis has the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Wait, the moral intern, what is that?
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
If I didn't know, how would you describe them?
They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt.
Oh.
The coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS.
So not that hard in either two directions. Yeah, neoliberal core. So what do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Oh, I can.
Something kind and usual. Something ominous.
Yeah. I love that back-to-back. Like, the more, like, assuming optimistic outlook from conceptualization but Inland Empire is more upfront and honest. I like that. So who is Dolores
A
Day?
historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of him?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And
But it's cool in that instance because it further leads just... Like, it further reinforces just how much of a unstable mess your character is. Like, if his mind is so divided that it's going through that many different and conflicting, like, assessments of, like, certain concepts or characters. It's really good.
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
You like the moral intern?
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist.
A moralist.
A blue forget-me-not, a piece of the sky. They're not all that bad.
Yeah, makes for good character to change up and make, yeah.
That's another leitmotif associated.
Especially because, like, I realize now, this far in, we haven't really had a moment again, like we did early on, where our Ty just started talking to us. Like, I didn't mention it back then, and I realized afterwards, like, some of, like, the mental instability of our main character also gives me vibes of, like, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Like, when you play as a Malkavian, but not as immediately wacky as it seems. And definitely not as much, like, insane, like, cognizant foreshadowing. Your Ty will come up occasionally. It's a character. Got it. Oh, God. That is... Yeah, I like him already just for, like, that description you went with. And just further... And just absolutely highlighting why I do not just subscribe to, like, the Democrats as automatically being the perfectly good and great alternative to, like, the awful Republicans. Because they're not. It's a right party and a far right party.
But the years
two
have
of them.
changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe in the RCM. That's enough for me.
So I have an opinion on the moral intern.
Do you?
It's literally what he is. Yeah, it's why people like him. He's very relatable. Yeah. He's relatable while also doing a very good job as being, like, the straight man guide to our world as we fumble around like the drunk jackass that we are. Wow, what the f is that? Yeah. We're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights.
No, we are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting the people of Revachol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes.
Maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes.
I mean, in a world like this, a revolutionary
job
might not be a bad direction to go. You know? You could go full fascist. Never had the heart to do it myself. Never wanted to disappoint him. Yeah, for now, it's like I'm more than fine just settling on just going communist, essentially.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the
Yeah.
mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different.
Oh yeah,
from
fuck
them
Kuno.
in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like
It's
this?
our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions
Yeah.
of our two precincts.
And in Jamrock and the GRIH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
We won't change anything here.
Probably not. Anyway, positive change happens slowly. We never really get to see the impact of our actions.
I fucking love you, Kim. You're really the best buddy I could ask for in this shithole of a town.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
And that was 30 XP. Nice. All right. Well, good night, buddy.
The bed is cold and not particularly.
All right, crawl in.
The sheet
Let's see what this second
runs
event
coarse and
is.
clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes.
Let's see what the game
And
has.
then sleep. And then sleep doesn't come.
But I want to sleep.
Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check the pillow.
Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly.
All right, check the blanket.
It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily.
Let's roll over to the other side then.
It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Who killed him? Who?
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves.
No more thoughts. Fall asleep now.
Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh, what? Okay. Oh my god. What?
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I was born in the hospital where people usually go to die.
You're not kidding anyone, Harry. You don't remember shit. Tell me.
Alright. I'll just soak this in.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
You said... who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs? Between her legs and in her mouth?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets, wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up. No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do. Even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots of the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed. Stinky boy.
I can come back from this.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
Bumping into things and acting like a clown's definitely how I've been treating the past 3 streams. But my mind's tired and broken.
Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
Oh god, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Oh no. And somehow we got all our morale back, even from a hanging corpse version of ourselves talking shit at us. Wow. Well then.
Good going, buddy.
Oh my god, what the hell was that?
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night.
What the hell's going on with me?
You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Why is this happening?
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself.
Wait, what is speed?
Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant.
Oh god.
It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me. To wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. It's that simple.
Well, I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life.
Of course. Martinez is speed central. You just gotta poke around. Follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again.
Find Speed and
make
sniff
her
it.
This
Going
time,
from
it will be
drunkard to drug addict. Oh, Jesus. And that's Yep. So how'd I enjoy that? That was definitely a thing. Definitely made my dude feel even more shitty than he did before, I think. The whole idea of another type of hangover was extra concerning, considering I didn't drink once since waking up. Probably the best written game ever made. I could see that. Whether it's my favorite written game ever, I don't know if I'd fully agree to that just yet. But it definitely earns itself the right as being like a new gold standard for what other games should strive for when trying to like have well-written stories and characters. Yeah, that was... Yeah, no problem. Like, any more of this I play is gonna be absolutely on my off time, but I was glad to take this week to take a look at it. Yeah, like, you telling me straight up that, yeah, it does have, like, there are breakpoints with the fact that this is basically, you played through this game across a series of days, and just showing off the first one, I think was a good enough, like, demonstration for me and anyone watching this, like, what this game is about. And looking at it, yeah. Yeah, I dig it. This game's fucking awesome. But right now, I gotta get to other things. I gotta get back to playing Bayo 3. Hopefully, there's not too much left that, like, I'll be able to finish it before the end of the weekend, which I guess I should ask you since you obviously got ahead of me and beat it. But, like, I mentioned that, like, I had, like, earlier today, I had finished Chapter 11 in that game. Like, how many chapters are there? Like, I assume there's at least one more side chapter as Jean. But it can't possibly be that much longer. There's 14 chapters? Okay. See, I am short. Pretty close. Yeah, that'll be, yeah, I'll definitely be able to get that done before the weekend's over. And then I think once that's done, I'll write up my final thoughts, share them with you guys in the Discord, and basically figure out how much of a priority is it that I should try and play more of that game and go back through the levels again just to complete everything and or try going for platinum rank runs, since, you know, I've had, you know, I've already made it very clear how I've been feeling about this initial playthrough, and that I am genuinely not convinced that I'll feel like I am operating at full capacity with this game unless I have literally everything, like every tool available, with the possible exception of what I assume to be a bonus weapon you get from what I assume to be another Rodin boss fight, because I'm pretty sure that's a clear tradition at this point, that there has to be a platinum ticket and a bonus fight with Rodin that's going to be tough as shit. But you'll get to see my final formal thoughts on that soon enough. Right now, I need to get it up and stretched. This has already been a longer stream than normal, being close to 3.5 hours. Thanks again for watching me go along this crazy-ass ride, as well as to everyone else that has, like, stopped by to kind of see what the hell weird choices I've made. As for next game, who knows? I'm still, I mean, I still got plenty of time until Tuesday. It might still be more PC games, might be another console. Yeah. But at least in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep playing other games and getting the last few updates for my Cruelty Squad Let's Play up and running. Which, you know, Wrath, again, like, I know I've not made much mention to it, about it to you or Wrath, but I have been doing, like, that Let's Play showing off Cruelty Squad, and this kind of gets back to, you know, now that I've indulged you, now that I've indulged your recommendation for this game, Hopefully this also means that now I have, like, every reason to shill Cruelty Squad even harder than I already have on Discord. You can either play it or opt to just watch the Let's Play if you think it's might still be a bit too hard to stomach from, like, a playability standpoint, especially with how weird and esoteric it can be. But that's it. Just one last shill before signing off. Yeah, totally. Take the time. Take however much time you need. I mean, you already know I'm taking however much time I am until I get back to reading Chainsaw Man. Would check your LP anyway. Cool. Yeah. It's always appreciated. But good night. Take care.